Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. We are off to the supermarkets this time, and if I remember correctly, I picked this up from Asda, and it's a beer from Siren Craft Brew, and this is a can of their Squiggle Hazy Pale Ale. It's coming in a 440ml can at 4.7%. Part of a 4 for 3 deal, I think it was, but I think if you bought it individually, it was a £3 beer. So yeah, let's get it cracked open and see what we get. Now, I haven't got a Siren glass, so I'm just using something different. So we'll just go with it. Not that it matters. It don't mean you fucking jack shit, does it, if you got the right glass, really? But I do like having them. But I haven't got a Siren glass, so let's shut the hell up, get the beer in a glass, and see what we get. Now, what am I expecting from this? I'll be honest with you. I don't mind a pale ale, but I do find craft pale ales nowadays seem to be very much the same bloody thing. There's a couple of floaty bits gone in there, a couple of cocoa pops roaming around and dropping to the bottom, but that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I find pale ales, the craft side of things, they're two a penny nowadays, and it's very hard to find one that is really top quality. So hopefully this one will be, but I'm not holding much hope out for it. In a glass, it's looking like orange squash. There was a few floaty bits that have gone to the bottom. Not seeing any carbonation go up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit. We got a finger of compact white head on top. So let's give her a swirl, dive in with this big ooter, and see what we get on the nose. Piney, hoppy, that fruity, juicy kind of tropical thing going on. I mean, I've got to say, for me, I'm a lover of that pine in a beer. And I reckon if you took the pine out of this, I'd just be going, yeah, it's a bit hoppy, it's a bit tropical, it's a bit... Because I have that love of the pine thing going on, it does smell really nice, to be honest. So let's dive in, give it a try. Cheers, everyone. Come on again. .7, quite light in the mouth, not full-bodied, medium, average, whatever you want to call it. Quite busy with carbonation. Lots of small bubbles, don't get me wrong, they're small bubbles, which always gives you a nicer mouthfeel, but it is quite busy in the mouth with the carbonation. Mouthfeel, quite honestly, is a little bit boring. It's not the worst mouthfeel I've had in a beer, but it certainly doesn't give you anything to write home about. You know, the carbonation doesn't ruin it, even though it is busy, because it's small bubbles. It doesn't ruin the mouthfeel, but like I say, the mouthfeel is a little bit plain, a little bit boring, a little bit run-of-the-mill. So in all honesty, it would take some ruining, to be honest. But let's give you something from the taste now. For me, first thing that hits me personally is a lovely pine flavour, a nice resinous pine. Then you're greeted with a little bit of hop, I would say, just behind the pine. And then behind that again, that's where you're getting all the juiciness. There is a little bit of malt backbone to it. Which you sort of pick up there. Fruit flavours. It's a funny one. You do get a little bit of sort of like orange citrus in there. But it's very light. I mean, it's very easy to say when you're drinking a beer. You get grapefruit, you get pineapple, you get passion fruit, you get the orange sort of citrus thing. Sometimes they're quite punchy. On this occasion with this beer, they're not non-existent, but they are quite light. So you're not hit with maybe a punchy grapefruit, you're hit with a very subtle grapefruit, which is light. You're hit with a nice subtle light pineapple flavour. You're hit with a nice subtle light passion fruit flavour. You do get that sort of orange citrus in there. It's got a bit of a sweet start to the beer, I would say. And just afterwards you get, I mean, well, I don't know, I was going to say you get a bitterness to it. You do, but it's the lightest of bitterness sort of feels you get to it. It's definitely more on the sweet side for me, this beer. And I think what they've done, I think with the lightness of sort of like the grapefruit, the pineapple, the passion fruit, I don't know if making it sort of lighter has brought out a sweetness to it rather than sort of like the bitter side to these beers, them flavours, I don't know. 4.7%. Yeah, I mean, it's drinking like that. There is a tad bitterness in there. There is a tad. I know I've just gone on saying there's no real. It's more of a sweet hazy pale ale, but there is a little bitter edge to it, and that little bitter edge maybe just sort of makes it feel like you're drinking like 4.7%. Do I like it though? Because I've rambled on for that long. Do I like it? I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but I think it's just one of them styles, being a pale ale, because it's not trying to be a full-on IPA. Flavours tend to sort of like be a little bit minimal, if you like. Yeah, it's just that sort of style of thing. I don't dislike it, but it's a typical sort of pale ale for me. Not the worst one I've had. Nowhere near the best sort of pale ale I've had. Run-of-the-mill sort of supermarket pale ale stuff really for me. So yeah, I mean, if a pale ale is something you like, give Siren Squiggle a go, because it ain't a bad. It's like I say, it's certainly nowhere near the worst, but it's nowhere near the best either. So yeah, give it a go if you like your pale ales. For me, run-of-the-mill stuff. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday weekend. I am just going to drink this and, I don't know, I'm hungry. I want to get something to eat, to be honest. And do a little bit of just chilling out, really. So, like I say, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.